Welcome into the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. Tom Leach, along with Keeneland's Director of Mutuals and Simulcasting, Jim Goodman. And it is Travers Day at Saratoga, a stakes-laden card. It's a great card. We're going to take a look at all the stakes races, give you a pick 6 ticket and an all-stakes pick 4 ticket, and there are other pick 4s on the day. So it's a great betting card if you can happen to find your way to the right horse enough times. Let's start it off with the Grade 1 Personal Instant. It is the 6th race, and it begins the pick 6. Small field, but I didn't see a standout. Who did you go to?
No, it's a quality field. It reminds me a lot of the Madison Stakes we had last fall. We had all those Grade 1 winners in there, and there's out of the 5 horses in here, 4 of them are Grade 1 winners. And it was hard to narrow it down. I think if you're a believer in karma, I think I'm a Chatterbox deserves a break at Saratoga because she got taken down last year in the CCA Oaks. Carolina, they put her up, and I thought it was one of the worst disqualifications I ever had since I had I'm a Chatterbox. But I think those two are right there together again, and I think they would be my top 2 choices in here. But cavorting the 5, big question mark on distance. Never has been a mile and 1/8, but she stretched out to a mile and 16 last time out in the Ogden Phipps and won easily. So I would use those 3 in starting the pick 6. I hate to use 3 horses out of 5, but I really can't separate them much. I think I'm a Chatterbox and Carolina are right together, and cavorting is I don't know if she'll get a mile and 1/8 at Saratoga, but McLaughlin's so tough, and cavorting just was so good in the Ogden Phipps. So I would use those 3. My top choice, if you made me pick one, would be I'm a Chatterbox. I think Giroux sticks with her. A lot of reasons. Giroux rode cavorting last time. I think Ortiz wasn't available or Castellano wasn't available, and Giroux sticks with Larry Jones, his main trainer. So I'm a Chatterbox would be my pick, but I would use the 1, 2, 5 in the pick 6.
Yeah, I've got a similar take on it. I'm a Chatterbox was my pick, and I initially went to Carolina, and then I thought I'm a Chatterbox from the rail might be able to just go right to the front and have the best trip. I like that 98 Buyer last time, which was her best in a while. So and your Karma Angle's a good one too. So I'm a Chatterbox would be my win pick. But for the pick 6, I'd want her, Carolina. And the other one I'm going to take a stand against cavorting because of the distance and go with and add in Forever Unbridled, the 3, which is one of the other Grade 1 winners. So it's a really great group for such a small field. 7th race is the Grade 1 Ballerina, and they'll go 7 furlongs, 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares. I tried to pick against Karina Mia, but I just couldn't talk myself into it. I think her best is better than the rest of these, and I like the angle of turning back from, she tried to take on Songbird, and for just a second looked like she might get her, and then Songbird shifted to another gear, and it was over. But turning back out of that race, dropping back to 7 furlongs, Rosario, I like the ride that he should be able to give her. So Karina Mia for me, and I would probably single her into pick 6. You got to find 1 or 2 of those somewhere. Wavell Avenue, better race last time. Spelling again, comes off her best race. Paula's Silver Lining intrigues me a little bit, so I'd use all of those with Karina Mia, but I'm going to take a stand with Karina Mia in the Ballerina, unfortunately at a short price. How about you?
We're thinking the same way in this one as well. Karina Mia, I think she's a single. Her effort against Songbird was incredible, and she got right there, maybe got a nose in front of her, and then Songbird, being Songbird, just put her away, and had a player at Red Mile that singled Karina Mia in the pick 4 against Songbird, which was not the brightest thing to do, and it cost him the pick 4. But I think Karina Mia, even though it's 3-year-old against older, she's just that good right now, and Songbird would be 1 to 9 in here. She's not in here, so Karina Mia is my pick here, but Wavell Avenue is my second choice, a strong second choice, because they put a really easy prep in her in the Shine Again, an ungraded stakes at 7 furlongs. She likes the distance, and that was a great warm-up for her. She's on 92, 97 Buyer, so I think she's coming into the race very well. Chad Brown, is on fire up there, over 30%. So Wavell Avenue would be my alternate choice here. The other Teardrama fits in class, but recent form is off. And Spelling Again has got a shot at the price, and usually in the money. So if we're playing a trifecta, I would certainly put Spelling Again in. But Karina Mia is my single in the pick 6 as well.
Eighth race begins an all-stakes pick 4. It's the Grade 1 Kings Bishop, 7 furlongs. It's for 3-year-olds exclusively here, and certainly did not see a standout like Karina Mia in this race. Who did you land on?
Yeah, I had one of my handicapping rules is that if you can't eliminate half of them, you got to go all. So I'm going to start the pick 4 here with an all, and I'm going to take the pick 6. I'm really going to spend a lot of my money because I had 8 horses written down out of 13. Mo Heyman is trying something different off the disappointment of Jim Dandy. I'm not sure he's quick enough to beat these horses at 7 furlongs. Baffert's got 2 bullets in here, Dreyfong, the 13, and Jazzy Times, the 9. Both of them come from West Coast, and both of them are quick and probably will go to the lead and do well in a 7 furlong sprint at Saratoga. Summer Revolution's only been out 2 times, but got a 90 and a 105 buyer. Fish Trap Road won the Grade 3 Dwyer at Belmont. Birdsong gets Ortiz off a big improvement last out. There's no way that horse is going to be 30-1 with Ortiz, but if he is, you might as well take some. Economic Model broke the maiden last year at Saratoga, so it's got an affinity for the track. Mm-hmm. And Mind Your Biscuits won the Grade 2 Amsterdam here a few weeks ago. So I had 8 horses in here, so there's no way I'm going 8 deep without going 13 deep. So you made me pick a horse. I would probably take one of the Baffords. I'd narrow it down to Jazzy Times or Dreyfong, with Summer Revolution probably a third choice. But going to go all and pick 4.
Yeah, I think you make a good case. I ended up picking Moy Heyman for the win. I like the turn back, and this is much less, for the most part, much less accomplished foes than what he has accomplished. And I think back to Tom's Ready turning back to 7 furlongs out of the Derby and how good he looked. He's in here, but Moy Heyman, off that turn back angle out of some tougher spots, had a little trouble last time, and so I think maybe they finally decided he may be better as around 1 turn, 7 furlongs or a mile, than he is trying to stretch him out to a mile and an eighth and beyond. And that may well be the right move. Second start off a layoff too, so I'm going to take Moy Heyman, but not a real strong opinion. Economic Model I like a good bit in here. I think Summer Revolution you got to include just in case he's that good. Mind Your Biscuits I would use. Star Hill's one I don't think you mentioned that. I've been on him several times. I think he's capable of a big one. Ran well at Saratoga last year, so I think there's a good bit of speed in here. I think he's intriguing. So for me, it's Moy Heyman. I would in just this race use him in exactas with Economic Model, Summer Revolution, Star Hill, and maybe also Mind Your Biscuits, and then we'll talk about the pick 4 here in a bit, but it's definitely one to spread on. The 9th race is 7 furlongs for 3-year-olds and up males, and Grade 1 4-go here, and didn't have a strong opinion. Started to go to marking, but I really like Stall Walking Dude's last race, and Jacobson's one of those guys when they get good, they can rip off 2 or 3 in a row, and I thought this horse looked really good, really improved last time. Loves Saratoga. I read Ortiz lands here. Horses won 3 times at 7 furlongs. So Stall Walking Dude is my pick here. But I also like Marking, AP Indian, and Ready for Rye. Might play a 4-horse exacta box just in that race. But Stall Walking Dude's going to be the win pick for me. How about you?
My 2 horses are on the outside. If Marking ever draws inside, you need to bet on him, because the last 3 races in the Met Mile and the Belmont Sprint, he's drawn the 10-hole and the 7-hole, so he's been outside and he's drawn the 12-hole here. And I know Kieran thought that cost him the last time against AP Indian. I don't think AP Indian's that good right now. And I think in the Vanderbilt, he took another step past that race where he beat Marking. I thought it was very impressive when he beat a nice field, including Catalina Red, who's going to be my 3rd choice in here. So I'm going to take AP Indian here on top in everything, but Marking would be my 2nd choice in the multi-leg wagers. Catalina Red is 3 for 3 at the distance, needs a good trip for the inside. And then Limousine Liberal is my long shot in here, 15-1. He needs to run back to the Keeneland race. The best race he ever ran was at Keeneland back in the spring, and he ran 100 by her. It looked like he was on his way, and he goes to Churchill, and Kelly Red handles him easily. Barely got beat in the second Churchill race, and then went to Gulfstream and disappointed. I don't know if he's that good, but Colebrook likes this horse a lot, and I think if he runs back, he ran a 104 by her in the King's Bishop here last year, and I think 104 would push you right there in this race. So he's my long shot. AP Indian is my top choice.
Yeah, that's good reasoning on Limousine Liberal. I'm going to have to take a second look at him and throw him in as well. 10th race, it's the Grade 1 Sword Dancer, 1.5 miles on the turf. Is this a free space with Flintshire and the multi-race wagers?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought so too.
If you're going to beat Flintshire, you'd have beaten him last time.
Yeah.
I mean, he had every reason to get beaten at Bowling Green. The other jocks boxed him in, and when Castellano passed Ortiz as he blew by Grand Tito, he just looked over at him. He had to have a big smile on his face because he knew what was under him. So, yeah, Flintshire is an easy square here. I think Grand Tito is the only horse that can beat him. Grand Tito had a perfect race last time out. He got an easy lead. He couldn't beat him then. I don't think he's going to beat him Saturday. Flintshire's a single for me in both the pick 4 and the pick 6.
Same here. I couldn't come up against anything with that machine, so just Flintshire and move on. 11th race is the Grade 1 Travers, 3-year-olds at 1.25 miles. They've got a full field here, and you've got Exaggerator off his Haskell win, but likely, I'm thinking, gets a dry track this time, so he won't get looks like he's had quite a run of favorable surfaces since he loves the mud. Who did you land on in the Travers?
I landed on a lot of them. Exaggerator looks like it's a 90% or a 10% chance of rain. It's a 90% chance of good weather at Saratoga, and it rained a little bit on Thursday there, but looks like it's going to be good weather. So unless DeSormo does his customary rain dance, I don't think Exaggerator is going to be an overwhelming favorite. However, if he does, bet on him because nobody's going to beat him in the mud. I think there's plenty of early speed in here, and I threw out Creator in the Jim Dandy simply because there wasn't any early speed, and then it turned out that Heyman stumbles out of the gate, and Laubin gets an easy lead, and the race is over. So I was right to toss Creator in that race. I like Creator and one other horse in this race because of the early speed. I think it sets it up for him, and I can see this race coming down to the horses coming from off the pace, and Creator needs that early speed, and I think he gets it here. The other horse that I like, I've always liked him, and I think he hated the track, and Haskell is Gunrunner, the 14. He was working great coming up to Haskell. They really liked him. I just watched it. We're recording this on Thursday. They schooled him in the paddock at Saratoga, and Caton Bradar was talking about how he's filled out and how good he looks right now. So the outside post doesn't thrill me there because Gunrunner does need to be closer to the pace, but things are really can get him up there and get him in the race, not anywhere close to the 1 and 2 horse Arrogate and American Freedom because they're going to go the lead. But I think he can get him in position, and I think Creator just sits back and runs them all down at the end for his only shot. Those are my top 2 choices in there, but I also can make a case for Governor Malibu. Couldn't catch Laubin in the Jim Dandy, but the way the race was run, he actually ran a really good race. Exaggerator, he wins for fun if it gets muddy, but he may be good enough to win on a good track because Churchill Downs was not a fast track, but it wasn't sloppy either, and he ran well in the Derby. Connect is a late developer, the 10 horse for Chad Brown. I'm taking Creator just barely, just because I think it's got a chance for the pace to melt down here, and I like his chances. I think he's drawn perfectly for his running style, and Ortiz is going to get him over the rail and save all the ground. And if you watch Saratoga, the Ortiz brothers are pretty good.
Yes,
and I'm going to take Creator on top of Gunrunner, on top of as many as you can put in there, including Governor Malibu and Exaggerator at the top of that list.
I'm going to put one more in there you didn't mention, and it's Destin. And I do not have a real strong opinion here, but he's 10-1 on the morning line, and I would assume he was nowhere near fully cranked up last time, and yet he ran a 99 buyer figure and ran okay. So if he improves off that, which I think there's every reason to think he could, then I think he's got a shot here. I think that the up-and-comers, the Connect, the Gift Box, the Bafferts, etc., all just feel like to me they're just less accomplished, and I just kind of think a horse that has played a tough schedule, if you will, is going to get this. Destin has done that. So is Exaggerator and a few of the others. So I'm going to take Destin, but we'll get to the pick fours and pick sixes. I'll certainly spread out. And some of the other ones I like here, and what I would do in terms of just betting this race, I think I'd play a 4-horse exacta box of Destin. Got to use Exaggerator just on the class. Lauban I'm going to use in there because he may have just taken his game to another level. It was a very favorable scenario last time, so he may just be a clunker this time. But and the chance that he has taken a big step forward, I'm going to take him. And then the other one that is 20-1 that intrigues me is My Man Sam. I watched his comeback race off the layoff and ran against Older, and thought ran well, and just looked like had all the looks of just a prep for the Travers. And now he had that race under him. I think he makes a big move forward. I just don't know if it'll be good enough, but with a good bit of speed in here, he's well drawn. My Man Sam intrigues me from back to that runner-up effort in the Bluegrass. So I'm going to play those 4 in an exacta box. If I went with one more, I'd go probably Governor Malibu. As far as the pick 4, starts in the King's Bishop with the All-Stakes pick 4, and I would use probably 5 horses in that first leg: Moy Heyman, Economic Model, Summer Revolution, Star Hill, and Mind Your Biscuits. Then I'll go with Stall Walking Dude, Marking, and AP Indian, Single Flintshire, and the 5 that I mentioned in the Travers. And if you can afford to go all, that wouldn't be a bad way to go, because there's nobody in the Travers I think that would totally shock me if they won it. So let your budget be your guide there, but I'm going to limit it to 5 to keep the ticket affordable. Pick 6, I would go 3 in the first leg. Then I'd single Karina Mia. Then I'd go Moy Heyman, Economic Model, and Summer Revolution. Then I'd go 3 more in the next race: Stall Walking Dude, Marking, and AP Indian, Single Flinsher, and then the 5 that I mentioned in the Travers. And if you want to scale that back, take out Forever Unbridled in the first leg of it. How about you?
Okay, my pick 6, I think I budgeted for $234 on the pick 6 for $2 ticket, which isn't too bad on a big day. And just want to make a comment about the Travers. You picked Destin at 10-1, and the 2 horses that I like are 10-1 and 15-1.
Yeah.
So that kind of tells you how wide
right.
open that race is if Exaggerator doesn't win it. So my pick 6, start off with the 1-2-5. I'm a Chatterbox, Carolina, and Cavorting, single the 9, Karina Mia. And then my pick 4 mirrors my pick 6, except I couldn't afford to put them all in there. So in the pick 6, I do go ahead and take all in the third leg because I can't narrow it down. So I'm going to spend a lot of money here in the all. So that's the 8th race. In the 9th, in the pick 6, I would single AP Indian the 11, single Flintshire the 6 in the 10th race, and then go 3 deep: Exaggerator the 7, Creator the 12, and Gunrunner the 14 in the finale. So that's $234. Pick 4, got a little more money to play with because it's a 50-cent bet instead of $2. So I would start off with all in the 8th. Then I would go 3 deep: Catalina Red the 1, AP Indian the 11, and Marking the 12. Still single Flintshire in the 10th. And then in the last race, I'm going to take my 3 horses, and you taught me in Destin. I actually overlooked Destin a little bit, and I liked him in Jim Dandy, and he couldn't win it because of the leader on the front. So I'm going to take 7, 8, 12, 14, and that ticket cost it was $58.50. So I guess putting one more in there, it makes it around $76. So that's my pick 4 ticket. Best of luck. It's a great card, and I think Flintshire's race is the only one that you can say for any certainty that this is what's going to happen. The rest of the races are all very bettable. And
then once all that's done, there's one more, the Grade 2 Boston Spa on the turf, and you got Lady Eli's comeback, which is a really neat story, but I ended up going to Miss Temple City just on the recency edge and had a little trouble in her comeback race there at Saratoga, but should serve as a good prep. And then Lady Eli, Sentiero Italia, I would use. There is a late pick 4 that starts on the 10th and includes the 12th and 13th. But anyway, that's who I went for in the Boston Spa, and that's also the second leg of the Twitter tourney on Twitter if you do that particular bet for Keelan Select. How about you?
I would hope that people bet. I love the story of Lady Eli, and I think she's absolutely great. But coming back off a 14-month layoff. They're going to bet her down to 3-5, and I hope you get 3-1 on Miss Temple City because she's proven. She's proven recently. She shipped to Ascot and came back and won the almost won the Diana. Got beat by a neck, even though she finished 4th. I think she's a great bet, and hopefully you get 3-1 on her.
Best of luck with your wagers. A lot of different ways to go on Saturday, but just some great racing to watch, and hopefully have some successful wagering opportunities as well. We'll be back next week. It'll be Kentucky Downs opening day and the wrap up to the Saratoga meet. So a lot to talk about then. But for now, best of luck from the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.